who are some names to listen out for a little bit later in the draft? Some guys that profile as guys that might fit what the Browns are looking for.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways you can go with it. I like to look at the linebackers. I think that's sort of the area where they're going to attack that position. A guy like Jabriel Cox out of LSU is certainly a guy to know. He sort of took over for where Jacob Phillips was at LSU. He came from North Dakota State, was an all everything player at the FCS level, jumped up to LSU and proved that he could do it. He's a possible second-round pick. He can cover, he can run, he can rush the passer, he can tackle a little bit. If they're looking there, if they want to go a little bit deeper, Purdue has a linebacker named Derrick Barnes, had a very impressive pro day this week, did very well for himself at the Senior Bowl, was a guy that showed that he could turn and run in coverage better than expected. He's a former defensive end. He played that edge position at Purdue that produced the likes of Ryan Kerrigan and Cliff Averill. Then he became an off-ball linebacker and got better all the year. So he's a guy that you're looking at in the fourth or fifth rounds. Might have tested up a little bit higher than that, but that's a name to look at there at linebacker. There's a ton of corners later in the draft and a ton of wide receivers. If you're looking for a slot receiver, a guy who can come in and be the quicker than fast guy, there's certainly some. Jalen Darden out of North Texas is a personal favorite. The guy is instantly open all the time. He's like a joystick. You just watch him. He's making moves that guys simply can't keep up with. Very productive guy. He also happens to be fast, and he can return kicks too. And we're still not sure what's going to go on with the kick return situation in Cleveland. So that versatility again there, being able to do more than one thing, will help a guy like Darden. A couple of cornerbacks that I like later. There's one out of Stanford, Paulson Adebo. At this time last year, when people were starting to do their too early mock drafts, he was the guy that was listed in the first round quite a bit. He didn't play, and he sort of fell out of sight, out of mind. This is a guy who is probably a top 50, top 75 talent. You might be able to get him a little bit later. A tall, lanky corner, smart guy, good press, good off player, has some ball skills and can tackle as well. So he's another one to look at. There's a ton of defensive linemen late. It's not the greatest class for defensive line, but a guy like Tyler Shelvin out of LSU. There's a couple guys out of other guys out of the SEC. I know Ohio State fans know Tommy Togiai very well. He's a guy that can certainly fit in and do some things there. Certainly a lot of names to look at late. Another guy that I like as a wide receiver, and I put him in my mock draft right next to Barnes. It plays with the rivalry. Barnes being at Purdue, Whop Philor out of Indiana. I know they're rivals, but they make very nice teammates in Cleveland too. This is a guy, all he did for Indiana was make plays no matter who was throwing the ball to him, no matter where he was on the field. He can win short, he can win long, he can win over the middle. Very tough, mentally strong player. So that's another guy that I really like in probably the fourth or fifth round.